Now, the council, as you mentioned, has made a priority list for spending Measure X money. And if it passes, and nearly all of it goes to restore specific positions or add public safety employees. But the city faces huge increases in CalPERS payments over the next several years, and the contracts are up with its bargaining units. How can the council honor its pledge that some of this money won't go towards salary increases and pensions for its current employees?
Well, I think, first of all, salaries are for public employees. So you have to pay public employees, and if you add officers, you're going to pay them whatever the existing scale or schedule or whatever is. So that goes without saying. The CalPERS assessments and those kinds of things are really determined by state law. And there are an awful lot of things that are beyond the control of this council, which will have to be paid whether Measure X passes or not, which is why I say it's not a zero-sum game. If it doesn't pass, then we will end up further in the hole because, as someone already noted, the city is now drawing on its reserves and deficit spending. So I think it's a question, again, of worse or better. I will also fess up and tell you that early on I talked to Garrett, to the mayor, and said, look, the road tax is really important and you're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you try to do this because it will compete with the road tax. And the idea of a penny for progress was sort of the concoction of that, and the idea that if the road tax passes countywide, that 50% of this money will then go to the road tax. So Modestans kind of have an insurance policy that they get the public safety and improved roads, whether it's countywide or citywide. So I think that we want improvements in public safety. There will be requirements that are legal. There are bargaining issues that have to be dealt with, but again, that's a question of how many employees you have that you're bargaining for, not whether or not you bargain for improvements in salary and benefits. It is unrealistic, in my mind, to ask the city to balance these issues and take away all salary increases and all benefits from employees. I think they're entitled to reasonable increases, and they've already made enormous concessions on pensions, and I think we all have to acknowledge that.
Paul, anything else?
I just wanted to add, the city needs to be able to, and to echo what Mayor Whiteside said, the city needs to recruit and retain qualified people, and if we're not paying competitive wages, even for our area, then we're going to be at risk. As the mayor also mentioned, there have been significant reductions in the future pension obligations, and the new hires that the city will bring on board if Measure X passes will fall under those new pensions, and the CalPERS obligations will drop beginning about year 4. So that has been part of the game plan all along, and we believe that the numbers are valid, and we'll agree with the council's estimates for those forecasts.
Carol pointed out that they deserve increases and they deserve appropriate salaries. I would agree with that. But when your median income in 2009 was something like $52,000 a year, and the average city employee in Modesto in 2009 was $99,552. That comes out of the Modesto B. So I hope it's accurate, folks. But I think, again, yes, we need to have these people, but we need to make sure we're getting bang for the buck. And that's, in my opinion, that's not happening. And what you're doing is you're putting a tax on people who are making $48,000, $50,000 a year and giving it to people who are making close to $100,000 a year. I just don't think that's right.
Does that include overtime?
No.
I don't know, but apparently he does.
No. Not overtime or buyouts or payouts.
All right. Thank you very much.